Welcome to the podcast, where we teach you how to create marketing that pops. Get ready for refreshing conversations with industry experts, trendsetters, and creative minds that'll leave you bubbling with inspiration. Get ready to turn up the volume on your business. Let's get talking. All right. Welcome back to Marketing That Pops. I'm Olivia, and we have Michelle, of course, with us today.
Hello.
And, we've been talking a lot about AI and just all of the things that come with AI. It's taking over, okay? And we need to know how we can use AI for our business. So, Michelle.
Or if, there's a lot of businesses out there that are like wondering, like, how do they not use it? Or like,
True.
The pros and cons of using it, like in the workplace.
Exactly. Well, I think what we should do is start with our debunk myth, which is a lot of people are saying because AI is so robust and, you can do so many different things with it, that it's going to take over their position or their job. And what do you have to say to someone who is kind of scared about something like that happening?
Yeah, I have heard that a lot. And I actually had interviewed somebody and they said she was fresh out of college and that her professor told her she should switch careers because AI is like going to take over for the writers. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, no, that is not true.
Oh,
AI is only as good as, the data that you put into it. And I would recommend, like, if anybody, is going to use it, they use it as either a brainstorming tool or just an idea generator, those types of things, because then you can like put your flair on it, your tone of voice, and just your like knowledge you're going to add to that, right? So that's how I see in the marketing world that we, address that.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of crazy that her professor would say that to her. I mean,
I know. And she's about to graduate and she's like, "Oh, I thought like I was doomed." And I'm
I'm
like,
like,
"No." So
she's
that's
about to come
craziness.
out, graduation, and she's like, okay, so I just spent all this money and time getting this degree, and now AI's taking over?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's
Yeah, shame
crazy.
on that
But
professor.
I think there's good things about AI though. It can, help get your job done faster, and make employees be more efficient and, knock stuff out a little bit quicker, which is great. But definitely, like one of the cons and something to be like nervous and aware of is making sure that your employees are not copying, pasting,
Mm,
that's not what it's there for. It's there to generate ideas and use it as a tool and not as your work
right,
because we all have like extra knowledge that we may be putting into it that's going to make it more unique and our own. And then that's going to be more beneficial as well, like for SEO and other purposes.
yeah. I mean, there are so many different ways that you can use AI, and there's so many different tools, and we'll talk about that today. Um, but yes, to just sum up what Michelle said, no, I don't think that AI will be taking over your position. I do think that it can be a benefit to you, but there's really you still have to have that human touch um, to it because I mean you have to be the one to input information, and also like we tell you guys this all the time, but authenticity is the key. Like when you start using these AI tools, they'll start using similar words and verbiage, and it's like, Okay, this is starting to sound a little robotic.
Yeah, right. And I think something to think about too is like remembering it's a machine
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't know what you're thinking, and you have to put as much information in as you can. So, for example, if you say I put in like, what's a great headline for a monthly newsletter? Um,
Mm-hmm.
that's not a really good way to like get the information you want. You really should be expanding on that. My target audience is I am a
Mm-hmm.
marketing agency. I'm trying to convert leads to do this. What's a great headline? And just the more information that you can like pull into it, the better.
Yeah. We actually have a blog that's going to be coming out relatively soon, probably be out by the time that this is live, but it's all about choosing the right AI tools for your business. And so what we did on that blog is we used like a similar prompt and we used a bunch of different AI tools. Like we used Copilot, we used Gemini and ChatGPT. And once we input the information, we were able to see like the differences that we were able to get back. And then also changing up those prompts and like what better results that you can get once you add that additional information. So definitely check out that blog. And that is right on our website. If you want to go to thrivepop.com/blog, it's called Choosing AI Tools for Your Business. So we'll link that below for you guys as well.
Great. I didn't
Awesome.
know that. So,
Yeah.
like, what did you find when you like compared them? Were
Um,
they similar or
Yeah, I mean, some of them have different are better for different things. So, for instance, I would say like Gemini and um, ChatGPT are definitely better for giving you like better verbiage and information, whereas like Copilot has like different options that you can use it for. Like you can get images and ask it to do like make you things like that. So, um, it's kind of cool just to see like what you can do with it, especially if you're limited on resources and you need to like make something or create an image. So it's kind of nice to have that in your back pocket. But
Mhm,
yeah,
mhm. Um,
personally, oh,
I don't
go
know if you're
ahead.
gonna talk about, like, other, like, AIs.
Mhm.
Um, are you going to or no?
I am, but I want to hear what you have to say, of
Oh,
course.
okay, alright. Um, I was gonna say Perplexity is a really good one that I like, and the reason I like it is that it sources all of its data.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see, like, is that a reliable source?
Hmm.
And look at the original, like, article or document or whatever it is that they found that information on. So if you guys have time, check out Perplexity.
Yes. We're going to have a lot of tools that we'll mention today. So definitely make sure that you guys are not only just checking the description notes, but then going to our website because we'll have a full show notes on this episode and we'll put all the links there as well. So let's talk about like how can I as a marketer use AI for my benefit? There's different types of AI, like we said. So there's the cloud-based AI platforms, and then there's the open source AI, and then there's like special AI tools. So typically, I would say what we use the most is like the open source AI, which is kind of like that large language model, which is basically just like ChatGPT and Gemini. So that's really helpful for those who are the content creators of the world who are trying to come up with the social posts and the blogs and just like all of your copy needs. So I would definitely check those out. So using AI for content creation is one of the biggest ways I say that it can help and kind of like fill in the gaps, like Michelle was saying. ChatGPT can generate blog posts, social media captions. It can even come up with like video scripts if you need it to. But while it's a great tool, you should use it as an idea source. It's definitely not a copy and paste. a method that we want to be using when it comes to AI. Um, Obviously, Michelle kind of hit all of my points already, but okay.
And I didn't even know. It's just like we can read each other's minds
I
or
know.
something.
Um, what I was gonna say is, with content creation, it's like it's a challenge, and when you're using AI, you want to make sure that your brand voice is, still being sounding like you and your business, and everything that you are trying to portray as your business. So you have to make sure that you are having human oversight when using AI. And yeah, so it's not 100% necessary to use AI, but it can be a great tool for you, especially, teams that are a little bit leaner, or if you're just in a brainstorming session, you're like, oh, like nothing is coming to me. Sometimes if you just go in there and you just like ask it a few questions, it can get your creative juices really going. And then bam, you're right off to the races, and you're thinking of even more ideas that maybe weren't even on the
Yeah.
AI platforms.
And one thing that I was thinking about is, I don't know, like 5, 10 years ago, whatever, what everybody was saying is ask Google, ask Google.
Hmm.
Like if you have a question, ask Google. There's probably an article or something. Or, when we're doing SEO, that's how we think. Like, okay, what are some questions that people are going to ask
Hmm.
to look to find this particular article? And it's kind of shifted. And now people are doing that to, AI and like putting in like what is blah, blah, blah. And what's kind of cool about the AI versus Google is that it gives you all the information right there versus
Hmm.
Google provides you
With
a
sources.
lot of different like websites, and you have to
Hmm.
go to each of those websites to figure out, is this the right thing? Is this the right thing? And a lot of time, half of them, it's not what you're really looking for. So,
Hmm. Yeah, it definitely can save you time for sure. The other thing that it can help with is something that we are big advocates for is repurposing content. So there's some new tools that we've seen that are coming out with, like even from HubSpot, of ways that you can, take a blog and then turn it into a podcast, or, vice versa. But be like taking a large format document or even a short term document, and then putting it into AI and having them repurpose that content for something else for you.
mhm.
We always are saying to do that, just because if you have like this plethora of information that you've already researched and that you've done for your business, it's always a great way to kind of not reinvent the wheel in a sense.
Right. Yep. I always encourage the purposing the content and repurposing and putting it everywhere, like a blog, email, social post. It can be all of that same information, but of course, spin it, to that audience and how they're like receiving the information.
Mhm. One thing Michelle was saying was about Google and how we were, going to Google and asking its questions. The thing about AI is it's almost as if it's kind of like the opposite of it, because it's like predicting what you're going to say based on all of that information. And so you can see that AI is being used in a lot of different ways for, not only just like competitor analysis, trying to figure out like trend reports and like comprehensive market research, but there's other ways too, like chatbots. That's a form of AI that's being used on, business websites, which can be very helpful. I know sometimes people can get frustrated with the chat when they're like, I just want to talk to a real person, but a lot of times they can provide you with the right information, especially if you know your audience and you know their frequently asked questions or their FAQs. Being able to plug those into like a chat is so helpful for your business, that you're not constantly answering those questions that that AI tool can just do for you.
Hmm. Yeah, and like using it as a sales tool. Like
Hmm.
if there's common questions that you always get, you could use that at like in your chat, and it's just helpful to like get that information out there. For example, if you're trying to disqualify people, like maybe
Mm,
they don't have the budget like for what you're wanting, you can have one of the prompts be like, what's your marketing budget look like, and
mhm.
then that kind of gives us that data and that information. So that's helpful.
Yeah. We don't really talk about disqualifying customers or like people enough because that's important when it comes to marketing. It's like you have to be able to make sure that the people that you're having come to you are your the right people, and disqualifying them at the beginning and you not even having to talk to them like and you're using AI is that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Michelle, you had mentioned, I think a while back, there was this one AI tool that can be used for dispensaries to help them choose like what products that they want on their website. Do you remember the name?
Hmm.
Terply,
Yeah.
right?
What? What's it
Wasn't it
called?
Terply?
Terply. Yes. Yeah. That
Yeah.
one's a really cool one. I love
Hmm.
that one.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So basically, it's kind of a add-on that a dispensary that sells cannabis can put on their website, and it basically takes you through these prompts to find out what type of cannabis you would work for you.
Hmm.
So, hi, like, what's your age? Like, what's your reasoning for wanting this?
Hmm.
Um, are you trying to feel happy, or are you wanting to chill out? And it kind of goes through that, and it integrates with their CRM system that pulls all of that data from the different cannabis products that they have, so they can determine which thing. And then in the end it will say, okay, here's the products we recommend, and then you can see all of the products, and it's going to basically show them the things based on their information. This is what we should be doing, or you should be buying.
Hmm. Yeah. Honestly, that's so cool. And I'm gonna get to this in a little bit, but there's so many other models that are basically use that type of AI, which helps, the end user so much. Like even if you think about like Sephora, like they have those different AI built into their website, for instance, and you're trying to figure out like, oh, what's this best product for me? And then like they take all these different things. You can do the analysis based on like your skin type and your complexion, and you can find the perfect product for you without even having to step foot in the store. I mean, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. And, there's like all of these quizzes and things that you can take online and to find out certain things. And, that's all AI, because it's like it's putting information in there that's going to automatically do things for you. So,
Hmm. Yeah.
like, I
I mean,
did this weight loss one, and it was like, okay, here's the like nutritional information you should have. Here's how many proteins, here's how many this and that and the other thing. So it was pretty cool.
um,
You laughing
yeah,
at?
I'm just laughing at how we love AI and how you can use all. I mean, I love it. I know some people get scared of it, but it's kind of cool. I mean, you get these like personalized things that are customized to you. Same thing that goes for like emails, like when you use like even just like the little tokens, or you can create specific journeys for your customers by using AI, through subject lines, through those personalized tokens, through just like certain follow-ups. You could even do certain things with your website where basically your website can be customized based on how this person searches or like the different things that they've been interested in, and by the time they get to your website they have like a totally different homepage.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's just so many things that you can do with it. that it's just like finding the right tools for your business is the thing that you have to hold on to. So what I
Yeah,
would recommend is to start small. Because there's so many
right.
different choices for you. There's a lot.
And some of them are free, and then some of them you have to pay for.
Mhm.
So make sure you use the free version first and then go from there. But when you
Yeah.
were talking about that, I was gonna talk about this client that we had. They have multiple locations, and
Mhm.
HubSpot has this feature that you can, based on their location, so say anybody that's from Michigan and they can tell that by the IP,
Mhm.
then they're going to show you the information that's about Michigan or California or New York or whatever. So it is really cool. And it's amazing that it can just flip like that and change that content based on that information.
Mhm. So we've talked about like how we can use AI for content creation and coming up with all these different things. But the next thing that you would want to do is to kind of look at it for like analysis and really trying to figure out like what your competitors are doing and figuring that out without having to break your back in a sense to do so.
Yeah.
There's so many tools out there that can make things so much easier. A few that we particular have used are SEMrush, um, Ahrefs, SpyFu, BuzzSumo. All of these kind of offer like similar types of tools that you can use, but it's basically they're offering like a detailed analysis of your competitors. You can see like the SEO strategies, paid searches, tactics, and different content marketing efforts that they're using to, you know, get to your customers.
Yeah. One thing that is kind of cool too is that, and I actually did this and it was pretty cool how it turned out. But what you can do is you can take your competitor's website, say a certain page, you can put it in the prompt and say, what are what is the reason that this website is ranking number one
Mm,
or on organic search, and
mhm.
then it will tell you, oh, it's because they do da 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 da, and it's like, okay, cool, thanks. Let's do that.
I'll take that. Yeah, so, and that was you did that through, SEMrush?
No, I actually just did that through Perplexity. It was really
Oh, through
cool.
Perplexity, okay.
Hmm.
Hey, guys, you gotta check it out. Like I said,
Yeah.
there's so many out there, but we'll list the ones that we particularly like so you guys aren't getting lost in the shuffle when you're trying to figure out which the best option for you. Another
Yeah, and
thing
Olivia loves that when I do that because that means she has to change the website based
Oh, yes.
all these new ideas that I have that I make her crazy with.
I love it. I love it. What are you talking about?
Job security, job security.
Right, right, right. Another thing that you can use AI for is trying to figure out trends. So you can kind of figure out some of those things through the other ones that we've mentioned already, but a few that we've known about and we've used are Google Trends, and then there's another one called Trend Spotter. There's another one called Mention, Exploding Topics, and then Crimson Hexagon. I haven't used that one so much, but basically what these trends things or tools do is they predict trending content topics and influencers across social media platforms, and they can help you identify which one are the emerging trends to help you kind of like hop on and to see which ones that you should try to tap into for your business.
Yeah, like for social too, that's helpful because if you're like, you know, going to these tools, finding out, okay, like this is really hot right now. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
we should probably do a social media post about that because everybody else in the world's talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it's
So
never
moving.
ending. Like you just
Oh
don't ever
no.
end. It's like always learning, changing, new
I know.
tools to do and use. It's fun.
Yeah. It's like you go on vacation for a week, come back, and we got two new tools that we were like brought into our arsenal. Um, so we talked about those things, and then the last thing is comprehensive market research. So a couple things that you can use for those are Brand Watch, one that's called Gartner, Nielsen, Forrester, are a couple that you can use for the comprehensive market research. But basically, those provides comprehensive social media analytics and monitor to track on your competitors. Same thing as the others, but they kind of just drill down a little bit more. Um, yeah, it's kind of just nice to know like where you're landing um, against your competitors because it can help you shift your strategy, um, and also to see like are is what my marketing efforts are what we doing right at that moment are those things working.
Hmm. Yeah. And I don't, you might be getting to this, I'm not sure, but there's a prospecting tools too that are great. And one of them is otter.ai.
Oh, mm-hmm.
And so like we have one of our employees is doing prospecting and like going, looking up what all the businesses are. You can like put in the company name and the job title, and it will show you like what their name, email, phone number, all of that information is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty up to date. It's really pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we could do a whole separate episode about kind of like just prospecting and using AI tools for that. Just there's so many different facets to AI. It's really hard to kind of just honestly put a lid on any of it.
Yeah. Yeah. There really is. And it just goes on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
And like, there's this one feature that my car has that I don't like, and where it will like for cruise control, it automatically will start slowing it down, or it will jerk you into the lane, which I don't like that
Oh
either.
yeah.
But the auto industry is like really like jumping on the bandwagon for that.
Oh yeah. I definitely know what you're talking about because I did drive your car that one time and I was like torrential raining and I was like,
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh.
okay. She didn't tell me about that, guys. We were fine. We made it to our destination.
Ah,
So, obviously you can see AI being used in a lot of different ways. We've talked about it before here on the podcast of, you can kind of start to see it in like commercials and just like other bigger brands using it. A couple ones that I'd like to mention, we kind of already touched on Sephora and how they use that different model for, shopping. But another one that I know everybody knows is Netflix, obviously. They
mhm.
use a personalized AI, which helps them to serve you different content that they think that you will like. So, I mean, it's been very beneficial to them, especially for all of those who are like, "Oh, I finished my episode. I binged all my episodes, and now I'm like, what am I supposed to watch now?" It's kind of nice that they have like those, tools that are kind of just built into there, so like, oh, this is kind of you watch this, so you might like this new show. I know you
Yeah.
know something about that, Michelle.
Yeah, and like one thing I never really do, and I forget to do it, but lately I haven't been able to find anything. And so I went back to some of my favorite shows and then I gave them the thumbs up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Maybe now they'll start showing me more, stuff,
Mhm.
more new shows because I like to binge. So I need a new
Yeah,
one. What's a new one?
I need to do one too. I kind of like in the middle of just nothing right now. Netflix, they need to maybe I need to go back and like re-like some of my old shows that I like watched before they were on Netflix and
Yeah,
see what they recommend to me.
right.
That's a good idea though.
Yeah.
I had heard that there was, just going off on a quick tangent, but I had heard that there was this tool. I don't know what it's called. I'll have to look it up, but that it's like an app that you basically put in all of your different platforms that you have. So like you put in your Hulu, you put in your Netflix, all those different ones, and it will recommend a show for you to watch because I know it's kind of a lot to let me go into HBO, let me go into Netflix, let me go in like, and then after that, you're like, you wasted an hour and you could have been watching something.
I know. You know what irritates me about all that is maybe you're on one platform, say it's Hulu,
Mhm.
and you want to watch the show, and then it's saying, "Oh, you can watch it for 29.99."
Oh yeah,
You know, but you might have it for free on a different subscription. And if
yeah,
you don't know that and then you buy it, it's just like irritating. I wish they just all kind of like
connected.
get squished together and be one
You know,
platform so it
I
was
feel
easy for us.
I feel like with Apple TV, like if you search in their like search bar, they will say like, "Oh, this is available on this platform, this platform, this platform."
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah. But you don't have Apple TV though, right?
We do. Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay,
Hmm.
well,
I guess
try
I
that.
never noticed it before. So,
I think it only works if you use their Apple's search engine on the Apple TV.
okay.
Well, Michelle's gonna have to report back to us on that to see if that works. um, let's see. What are some other ones that I wanted to talk about? Um, Another one is Wayfair. So they kind of use like an AR and like an augmented reality and AI to kind of implement their furniture model, basically, with being able to place furniture in your space. So it's kind of cool because I mean, you're really getting to see how this is going to look in your room, your office, your kitchen, whatever have you, and without having to purchase the furniture um, right away.
Yeah.
So I'd say that that's a really good case study to see like how using AI and all these different things and models can really change your business.
Hmm. Another one that's kind of cool along that lines are like paints. So say like you're looking for like a fun new paint color
Yeah.
and you
Mm-hmm.
can like you can use, your picker and like find a color and then put it in there and then it will tell you which paint number, that is and so forth. And one that reminds me of this other app that I like. It's called Houzz, I think. And it has that where it's if you start going through their photo gallery, it will, you'll click on it and it will tell you, hey, this is this paint color, blah, blah, blah. But then you can go
Mm-hmm.
over to your paint color,
Mm-hmm.
program, Pittsburgh, whatever. And then plunk it in. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I do like that too because it's hard to commit to paint color because once you paint a wall, you don't want to do it again.
Mm-mm. No,
I hate painting.
no. Speaking of, we gotta paint our conference room
Oh, well,
thing.
yeah. Yeah, we do.
As I'm looking at my wall that as you were talking, I was thinking, I really need to touch up that wall. But okay, focus, Michelle, focus.
Well, now what we could do is we can use that AI tool to see what color that we should be painting it, and
There we go.
there we go. Um, Okay, so we give you guys a ton of tools to use. There's so many. I'm sure there's lots that we didn't even get to, and I think we'll continue talking about AI just because it's such a large topic that we want to keep diving in, and then we can get a little bit more granular on more topics with you guys. But what we would like to leave you with is start small. I would say pick one or two of these different AI tools to test out, see how you like it. I personally like Gemini and ChatGPT for coming up with like content creation. And then SEMrush is a really great tool when you're trying to look at your competitors. So maybe you might want to start with one of those. But we'll list those two and just we'll test it out, see what works for you. The next thing I would say is train your team. Make sure that they understand that how to use this tool, all the benefits that can come with it. SEMrush is a robust tool. So there's a lot that you can get into it. I mean, you can use it on a very small level and not necessarily have to get into the in-depths of everything that it can offer to you. But I would just make sure that your team is aware of, what you're going to be using it for, your expectations for it. And that way, when you start bringing people on, everybody knows and is aware of how to use it.
Yeah.
The third thing I would say is to maintain your quality. Make sure that you are maintaining your quality and that you're not compromising on that just because you're trying to bring in these new tools. By that, I mean, we're not copying, pasting what we're finding on these different sites. And we're making sure that you're still using your brand voice and making sure that it sounds like you.
Mm-hmm. There are tools too to find out, like, if somebody did copy and paste. So those would be some tools we could add in to the link.
And then the last thing, which is what we always say, is to review and monitor, making sure that you are reviewing regularly, making sure that all of the tools and information that you're using it to your benefit, and that you can kind of keep looking month by month and going back to see like, oh, we tried, we saw that we were using that trendsetter thing and we hopped on that. Did that really apply to our business? Were we able to move the needle at all? And also you can review and see like, did that help or benefit our customers and also our competitors? You can see that information too. But yeah, I would start small and see where it takes you. I think it's here to stay. So don't be scared
Yeah.
of
It is. It's crazy. That made me think of something. I know you're trying to wrap up, but like for the Super Bowl, wasn't there an AI
Yes,
yeah, so
it was.
they're using it too.
Yeah, and I was at my parents' house and they have direct TV. And like, when the TV's inactive, it kind of goes to like the screensaver and they scroll through a couple ads. And there was this one for some brand called like Dog TV, which is like TV for your dogs. Okay. I mean,
I
all
know
right.
about okay. I know about this because I put it on for Tucker one time.
Does he like it?
He likes to jump at the TV when
Okay.
he sees other dogs barking, but there were some that it was just like the dogs were not barking, but they're running along the
Oh,
street.
tranquil. Okay.
Yeah, just to like calm them. But Tucker totally watches TV,
I wonder
and
how
he
they
freaks
have
out
it.
when dogs are on the TV.
But what I was gonna say is they had like the whole ad was AI. I was like, this is crazy because I mean sometimes you can just tell when things are AI, but like the TV itself, just like the lady was not even a real person, the dogs weren't real, and like the TV stand wasn't connected to the TV. I'm like, see, don't try to trick me. I know when I see AI.
In social too, like because say I see all these ads, about hey, upload your profile picture and then it makes you look
Yes.
way beautiful or something. And or And I know our social media person she can like spot like if it's AI or not. And
Yeah.
something with Kim Kardashian was in there and she's like, that's AI because that's not really her hand, and really? And then as I look, I'm like, oh wow, good eye.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, like even with AI now, like on social, especially on Instagram, it'll say, even if you edit your photo a little bit, like it says made with AI. So I think
Hmm.
the transparency is there, at least on Instagram, and maybe it'll be on some of the other platforms, but I don't think there's a problem with creating it, but when you're trying to say that this is like reality,
Hmm.
that's when it can be a problem. So
Yeah. We should have another podcast about like pictures, and AI
mm,
because there's a lot of tools for creating AI
yeah,
photographs and
you know
stuff.
what could be fun? A episode like that, but then we will say, okay, which photo is AI, which photo is not, and then
Yeah,
everybody will have to watch the video version to try to, go along with us to see which one is AI or not.
I love it. And we should do that on social as well. That would be a great
Yeah.
post that we would get some interaction.
You see, I have my pen in my hand. I'm writing it down
All
right
right.
now.
All right. Mhm.
All right, guys. Well, you heard us brainstorming and getting ready for future episodes for you guys. We're always thinking of how we can make this better. But if you have some ideas and some episodes that you'd like to hear from us, please let us know. Obviously, you can get a hold of us at thrivepop.com/contact us. And we'd love to hear from you. But until then, see ya.
For now. And hey, don't forget to review us because that really helps us get found more, when people are searching for marketing podcasts and we don't have many reviews. So like
Yeah. And
please go
I see
review
that
us.
you guys are listening. Okay, I can see that. So make sure that you just,
I know. And like I've heard people say, I listened to your podcast. And I'm like, what? You did?
yeah.
We're new to the podcast. So we're like excited when we can, start getting a following. We're excited.
Yes. All right. Well, we'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks for
All right.
listening.
See ya.
Thanks for listening with us today. Stay tuned for the latest in web marketing and design from ThrivePOP. Want to be a pop star? Head over to thrivepop.com/podcast to join our mailing list for episode notifications, sneak peeks, listener feedback, and more.